Winnipeg, let's look at a couple great plays from their game. This is Ottawa offensively. Let's start it out with a bang here. Alley. So he releases on this area of the field, and he's trying to split the deep player. He's going to go to this, split the numbers and the sideline, and he's going to run a hitch at 6 to 8 yards. So when you have a team that the free safety kicks to this side of the field, which the Red Blacks do, because a lot of the time, because they're in, whether you want to call it matchish, quarterish, you just got one low player over there. This is not cover 3. He's not a third player who splits the difference in verticals. He's committed to these 3 receivers. So this is a good call because now that player, you just read what he does. And as he is expanding, and there's a safety there, there's a safety here. That gives you this throw. Now, the Will linebacker's got to continue to get depth because there's nobody there. But I like how they did it this way. So if he stayed inside, the read would have been him. But the farther wider he gets, the more you're going inside. This is what I would call an inside, outside, back down read. Zach sees it immediately. Let's show it from this angle. Much easier to see here. I'll pause it right there. And the nice thing Nick did here is this little jump in and back out slowed him down. And it basically made the halfback lose sight. So he just sees this. See all that space? You can tell that the space is just too big here. The farther in he is, the more the read goes out here. But pre-snap, Zach knew that he's thinking about taking this throw. Why? Because look where the safety is. He's already over here. Way too much space. And Nick does not run a post. He runs vertical to keep the bind on this halfback. And the free safety is an adjuster. Nice start of the game. Nice situational football here. Hopefully this is something that the guys still do from when I was the offensive coordinator here. So you're backed up at the -1. So if I can kind of try to show you, the ball's right here at the -1 because they had a huge stop. The defense stopped Red Blacks on 3rd and goal. So the situational football that works here for the Bombers, and the Red Blacks didn't execute well, is that there's no penalty in the Canadian Football League for going offsides here. So the Red Blacks are going on a hard count. They're going on 2. And why they're doing that, because if they go offsides, now you get the ball at the 6-yard line, right? Defense, offense. Always when somebody goes offsides, somebody gains. Now, you can jump offsides as an offensive team too and hurt your chances to get a first down. But there is no penalty. It's going to go down in the books as a penalty for the offense if somebody, let's say the tackle stepped forward because he didn't know the cadence. So if he stepped forward, the ball, there's nowhere else to go. And in the Canadian Football League, they don't put the ball at the half line. So the penalty's going to go down the books, but they're going to spot the ball back at the 1. So I always made sure every team I coached, we did 2 reps of this during the week, that we did -1 yard line, hard count, to make sure everybody on offense and defense understood. And Cleon knows it right now, because Cleon would have worked that with me when I was the head coach of Ottawa. So everybody on defense should be saying hard count, hard count, hard count. He knows it right now that they're going to try to get him to jump. So good situational football by the Bombers against the Red Blacks. Quick, easy throws on the Sally game, the Sally Ran plays that I've done a breakdown of, the zone read with a pull option. So Zach sees this real quickly. And again, when you have a team, when you have 4 people to a side, there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4. If you keep the halfback on the backside, you're just not going to have great numbers. You still should be able to cover it, but it's harder to cover when you dump 4 people out. He goes out in the flat. He replaces. We have 2 other routes out here. But just watch right here. As he goes in there, Dembski finds that little space. So whether it's miscommunication, like he takes that when you stay inside, but you still have a curl right here to handle. So Zach sees it. And again, he's going to read this defensive end. If that guy runs down the line of scrimmage, which is called chasing, okay, I would call that a fast squeeze. I'd almost call that a gap exchange because he has no contain. So there's nobody for the quarterback right here. So quarterback pulls it. We don't want the quarterback run the football. Dembski replaces. Big gain on the gap exchange. No contain. Touchdown, Dembski, high point in the ball. Show you what's happening here from the pattern concept. So Dembski's going to angle in and then go up and then vertical. And this is called a banjo release. And he's going to go out in the flat and he's going to come underneath. So you're trying to run a corner route with two people underneath to keep those two players down so you can throw the corner route. The second thing you're doing is you're having Dembski run the corner route so he has better position, trying to get better position than Pickett. Pickett's too smart, though. He recognizes it. Just at the last second, though, he jumps inside. And then Dembski recovers. I don't think this is Dembski. This is this Wheatfall? Yeah, so as we go through this and you're trying to figure out, like, well, why do you quarterbacks throw to certain spots? You're trying to throw to certain areas of the field, and when you get man coverage, you're trying to go to take this shot. This is Jarrett Stearns, this one. You're trying to get the best advantage versus man coverage. And that's the picture right here. And I'll go to this angle to help you. So right here, these guys passing each other off to these routes. And that's great timing by Stearns here. Foot press, and he just runs to the back pylon. And Zach trusts that he's going to get past Pickett. And it's a great throw because Pickett has to turn. He has to catch up. And I think he looks his head back. And I think the worst thing you can do right there, he's just a tad late because he tries to throw his hands right through there. But just great play by Stearns making the opportunity here. So Zach, once again, breaks contain, and they don't have anybody there, and that's why he can wait to see this thing get open and throw it out there. So nice big win. Great route on the corner route with a banjo release. Pickett handled it pretty damn good. Just that last end, he's just right there. He almost gets a hand up there. Little miscommunication. There have been a lot of injuries in the Red Blacks this season. You got C.J. Colden, DeAndre Lamont not on the same page or trying to sort out what's happening here. So you got man coverage, and you have a route that everybody in the CFL will run. I call it razor. I call it a kind of a rub play. He's going to go into his feet and then run a corner route. He's going to go in the wake and then break out in the flat. And you're trying to get them confused in man coverage. So if they switch and he drops down to take the outbreaking route, you expect the corner route to have a guy inside position. And that's what you want. If they both lock it, if he locks him and stays with him, once he breaks out, they've got the leverage they want. Why they make it harder is he stays inside longer. So it's harder for Lamont to recognize switch, which they should be yelling right now. And he should take that, and he should take the 6 route. And it takes longer for CJ to figure it out because he's just not sure. So he has to recover when he sees him lock it, and then he's got to go down and take this one. Okay, so, he's like, I'm staying with this one. Nope, he didn't switch. So you're just trying to sort out how this plays out. He's staying here. How are they playing this? I don't think this is zone. And if it is, he's a low player and he's a deep third player, then there's some communication issues here. But you just want to be on a better page. Zach sees it right away, makes the catch. We can watch it over here from this angle one more time. So watch. As you release inside, like he just has to have his shoulders square so we can see what's happening with the outside receiver. If they're going to think about switching, because he basically lets that guy go out in the flat and picks this one up, but there's not a lot of communication. So you'd like his shoulders square so we can see what's happening with both routes and make that switch happen. Now, very next play. Same play with a little bit of Sally action. Okay, what I mean by Sally is zone read. Read the end. If the end crashes, quarterback's going to pull the football. But they don't have anybody for contain. So if they're going to run him down, he's got to go contain the quarterback. They're just late to get in here. Very same play. Inside, vertical, and go to the corner route. In the wake, and break out. And all you do is read the outside player. If he switches or stays high, you throw the out flank. So you're always on this razor stuff, you read the outside player. If he goes high, you throw the ball outside. If he stays low, you throw the corner out. Easy picture on the good execution of a screen pass here. Dump the back out, go to an empty protection. Add Dembski in as a protector. The beauty of adding Dembski is if they're in zone and dropping everybody off, there's going to be nobody for Dembski. They caught him in a zone blitz, which means they voided areas on the field, and you get some great blocks downfield. What I mean by it's a zone blitz is this. The numbers of guys coming. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rushers coming. Or 5 rushers. So 5 rushers are coming. You're voiding spaces on the field normally. And as Dembski releases out, he's got 2 linemen for him. And really good job on the pickups here. Watch. That is excellent. Trying to get defensive backs is not hard, not easy for offensive linemen to knock guys here. So Bennett Williams gets trucked. You got a second offensive lineman out. You got a rat kill, so he should turn and block anybody chasing the screen, sniffing out the screen. Nick goes back inside. Big gain. Great execution of the screen pass. Oh, there's his head back. See, when he puts his head back, it goes faster. That's what I used to tell him all the time. Get head back, head back. Nice play action pass here. Great block by Kevin Clarcius. Gives Zach the throw on the outside. I believe that's to Wheatfall. Let's show you what's happening here. So as they motion Clarcius down, he's going to block the widest because the line are going to run. This is what you call a naked play. So they're going to fake outside zone this direction. Zach's going to go this way and boot back. They're going to bring what I call a hide route. They're going to carry somebody, and then they'll bring people back to this side of the field. And that's what you're going to see. Now, I'll pause it right here because they blitz off the edge. So very good by Kevin understanding it. That guy's not going to play contain because this is the contain player. So he lets the widest go, and he blocks the contain player. So excellent blocking right there. So they pin him so Zach can get outside. So now you have the underneath throw. You have the clear out, and you have somebody coming back. So he takes the top off. He's intermediate. He's here. It's just a flood in the middle of the field. Zach sees it. Wheatfall makes the catch with good, hand-eye coordination, understanding he's going to get hit. So he's running through, trying to keep the free safety high. He expanded. Throw this. If this defender stayed in here and we outflanked the defense, you throw the ball outside. Nice throw by Zach, even throwing it back. A little bit of what I would call an inside-out read. Attacking the underneath coverage. Davion Taylor gets caught up. All right, once again, I'm going to count numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people rushing. That's an important part of this. This is zone with voids. So you don't have enough low players in some of these concepts to cover the width of the field. You hope your pass protection. You only have 2 low players. If you see that, I should say there's a third. There's a third to the wide side of the field. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3 low players because everybody else is working to depths. So the underneath zones are a little bit compromised. The Bombers waggle in and send a guy on a post and a guy on a comeback. And there's just too much space in there as Davion Taylor goes through that space and the middle linebacker bites up on that one. I was actually Pickett because the middle linebacker came. So if you look here, you can see that huge space open up. So I'm not sure whether Pickett's supposed to pick up and wall the first one and pick him up man-to-man. If he is, it makes it harder because now you've got that huge area. So good read by Zach, getting this, seeing this inside out and getting it to Carrick Weakfall. You can see it from this angle. See how much space there is? Right? So Zach's just watching to see if the will stayed in here and never expanded, then there's a 2-on-1 on that player, and he would go to the 1-on-1 out here. And, you know, the thing the quarterback recognizes, 1, 2, he already recognizes there's no underneath coverage. So he just knows there's nobody on this side of the field, so I can just wait for him to cross the will and throw it to a spot. Okay, this is one of the struggles that they had. Okay, when Dressler got stopped on 3rd and 1. Really good push by the REDBLACKS, staying high. And I think if Strevy just tried to stay in here a little bit more, he might have it. But from the REDBLACKS perspective, you know, they found a way to get this stop. Gavin Helslop's way outside, and he turns it back. It's a little bit too much penetration. All right, this is the last drive, so let's talk about the last couple of plays. So coverage, essential for the REDBLACKS. They're rush 4, and they're going to play coverage. So he's underneath, he's over the top, he's inside, so you can't throw an inside seam. He's over the top, he's over the top. You got 2 people here, he's over the top of that one. Everybody's covered right now. And Zach sees it. He's playing his contain area. He's here, he's here. Zach sees that everybody's turning and running with people, and he just says, I'm going to take it, and I can get the first down. So Zach, he's got first down. He keeps going, get as many yards as he can. So a heads-up play by a guy who's been a very excellent quarterback in the Canadian Football League to be able to scramble. I think, you know, he's in his gap. It's just this gap's open up too much, and there's nobody underneath because they're playing coverage. So heads-up play, you can see it from this angle. Who are you going to throw to? There's nobody available because they're walling. What's called walling is turning and running with the underneath routes. So Zach said, hey, I can get 20 yards myself. And then they need one play for a first down. This is one of my favorite plays still in the system, is a go route and a 12-yard out to the sideline with a guy underneath and a guy on a dig and a curl. So it's basically you're basically going 1 to 2. You're either going to throw the go route or the out route. You got man coverage, so he knows immediately with the higher that guy is, and especially I just need a field goal, I'm going to throw it to Dembski right on the sideline. Dembski makes a catch, gets his feet in bounds. They're able to go kick that field goal. Good protection here by the O-line. Good slide, handle everything just so Zach can take his drop and throw it. You can see at this angle. So really good execution on these last couple of plays to get that long field goal for the Bombers. You can see right here. Outside, even Nick is working to the outside of the defender. I like that the X attacked, created space for Nick. Zach puts it on the sideline. Field goal, wins the game. Good execution by the Bombers.